see if we can survive.
We can't.
You don't think we're going to make it?
How did humans live before air conditioning?
In caves.
Where it was nice and cool.
Yeah, like because inside underground, like the temperature stays the same the whole time.
Yeah.
That's why we starve for air conditioning and we freak out anytime the temperature changes, because we're supposed to live in caves and wander out and grab a handful of berries and a dead raccoon every now and then. Bum 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 bum. Everyone, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Steve, and this is 60 Cycle Hum, the guitar buying, selling, trading, modding, fixing, breaking, playing, reviewing, playing podcast. Hi.
Hi. How's it going, everybody?
This first ad was not sent by Keegan Nugent. First ad was sent by Nick Carter. About this listing, previous owner did this mod. It started as an HS model, as a high school model, and he added some pure vintage 65s. I had just upgraded the guitar pickups to Seymour Duncan Antiquities, 149 new. The close-up pic shows the black pull pieces of the Antiquity. Volume pot is a Fender 1 meg linear like the vintage JMs. The tone pot is an Audio Taper 500 with a 22 cap, 0.022 cap. Frets are great, lots of life left, body clean with 2 minor dings. See pics. Pretty bright guitar, easily mellowed with the tone control or back off the volume pot. Sounds very close to a DuoMaster, a little fuller in the mid-range, 24-inch scale, 22 frets, rosewood fingerboard, nut is 1.65, stock hardware, other things. I haven't looked at this yet, but 24-inch scale probably doesn't sound anything like a DuoMaster. Definitely not a jazz. Oh. All right.
I was waiting for you to see
This is a Duosonic with DuoMaster.
Yeah, now we know what the smallest guitar with the biggest pickups looks like.
Yeah, our pure vintage 65s, is that another pickup?
They're antiquities, aren't they?
No, Seymour Duncan Antiquity ones are so Fender Pure 65s.
Oh,
it's $135 pair.
I don't
jazz mat. Oh, that's a demo.
I literally don't memorize.
They were $150 for the pair.
Okay. I'll let you finish talking about them. I memorize very, very few pickups. I can recognize like, oh, there's Telecaster pickups. Oh, there's a Firebird pickup. But I've never been someone who memorizes exact models of pickups, except for like the Invader, like if it's obvious and it's obvious,
the hot rail,
dude, I couldn't tell you the difference between an Antiquity and a Pure 65. I don't know, man.
Well, it's just brand.
I know, but still, like I'm sure they sound different, but I don't geek out about pickups that way. Maybe you guys can tell, because I don't do a lot of pickup demos around here unless they have like a real novelty to them. I'm not a pickup nut. I can tell the difference. I appreciate them, but I don't go crazy.
I can't decide if I love this or hate this, but what I'm looking at here is fat man in a little jacket. It's a little jacket, a little coat.
Something coat. Like that.
That's what I feel like. These pickups, I can't tell if the pick guard is actually completely severed on one side. It's real. If it's not, it's real thin.
It's a pony that's hung like a horse. This is ridiculous.
When you said like go out and gather a few berries and a dead raccoon,
you thought that was going to be the peak.
The thought that crossed my head was like, oh, this sounds a lot like Red Dead Redemption. And now talking about ponies, now it really is Red Dead Redemption.
This is wild. Oh man, I bet it sounds great. I bet it sounds really cool. I've looked at guitars before and thought like, I wonder if I could put a DuoMaster pickup in there. I'm like, nah, the pick guard wouldn't be big enough for it. The reason the neck pickup isn't closer to the neck is because they wanted the pick guard to stay connected there, because they didn't want to cut any further into the body. Like, that's crazy. That's so wild. I love it. I really wonder what it sounds like.
I'm sure it sounds fine. It
probably sounds really.
It just looks odd. It's $575.
So DuoMaster pickups, in my opinion, they're unique quality. I just finished ranting about how I don't cover out pickups, but the concept of a DuoMaster pickup that I find, they seem to be the sweetest, most syrupy of the single coil pickups with that big flat coil that's under there.
Like maple syrup.
Yeah, like they got this
or high fructose corn syrup.
sticky quality to the sound of the pickup.
Okay.
In a short scale like this, a little tiny baby guitar that you could put heavy strings on and just thud it. Like this thing's gonna be a tone monster. Like this is gonna sound amazing. Maybe I need to try putting a Jazzmaster pickup in a short scale because it's wild. But man, they had to move wood around to make this happen. This is great.
How much were these new? Do you remember?
Not a lot.
Do you remember how much you paid for yours that you returned?
I think it was like $430, $440.
Okay, so that's what I was thinking,
like
like 400, let's say 450.
Yeah.
The original owner took out the original pickups, presumably original owner. The previous owner took out the original pickups, dropped in a set of $150 Fender pickups. So probably an upgrade, modest upgrade, but an upgrade. And then this guy came in and dropped in a set of $250 antiquities. And I'm just kind of like, I mean, I guess if we're saying 450 new and then you drop in these antiquities, they're 250 new or 450 used, 250 new. That's like 700, 575. I actually think is, I think it's an okay price.
I would ask.
I don't know if that's killer deal, but I think it's respectable.
If I was on the fence about this guitar, I would ask the guy, "Can you throw in the original pickguard and pickups?"
I bet I don't think he has them.
But if he did, that would be a no-brainer price.
Right, I see.
Because he didn't cut the pickup into the body. They had to remove wood, but you could put another pickguard on this and take it back to stock real easy. I bet you could find a loaded pickguard for this model Mustang on Reverb or eBay for $140 or something like that. And you could take it back to stock if you wanted to, but then you would still have this pickup. You could flip out this pickup set. But that's really, if we went back to the old days, Steve, where you and I were flipping all the time because it was like we didn't spend money on gear. We just wanted to be cheap bastards and flip into everything. We would have looked at this and be like, yeah, no brainer. Buy this. You flip in $140 loaded pickguard off of eBay, and you sell those pickups for $200 total, easy. And it's like getting $50 off of this. If you happen to not like those Jazzmaster pickups, you might fall in love with this. Either way, you could come out ahead on this a little bit.
Okay, pickguard, HS pickguard, $15. Let's see if we can find
only 15?
A loaded one.
Oh man,
I'm
on the edge of my seat for this, Steve.
Loaded.
Last episode felt really good. There's
one completely. There's a lot of unloaded ones.
This episode's off to a good start.
Here's a loaded, but it's a single.
How much?
$100,
dude.
So you're probably in the ballpark, like definitely under $150
after shipping. Under $150.
You could probably pop these pickups out. What do you think you'd get for them? Like 200?
I think 100 each without even a fight.
Yeah, so 200. If you put in $100 pickguard, you're making $100. That's a lot of work to make $100,
but the point is, like, if you don't like the guitar as you bought it, you could potentially get $100 off by doing a little work to take it back to stock.
Yeah.
Or you could score some really sweet pickups and then sell the guitar. You could just sell the guitar and keep the pickups if you wanted to. It's a parts bucket that has desirable parts. So I don't know. I sign off on this one. I think someone should grab this. I mean, don't make an offer. Always make an offer. If the option is there, ask them, hey, do you have the original pickguard and pickups? Can you throw that into the mix? I'd love to know. This was listed a month ago. Still available on Reverb. Yeah.
Offer something low.
I think someone should go for it.
$500. I think at $500 it'd be a no-brainer.
What are these guitars going for used right now? We didn't even discuss that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because what if it's like $320?
Right. Duosonic HS. There's a brand new one. Here's a used one in Aubergine for $500. That's in a faraway place. $430 plus shipping. $420 plus shipping. $540 with free shipping.
I think it's still in that range where, like, even if you're not making a ton of money.
$450. I think you're looking at $400 to $450.
This is a fun flip bait experiment guitar. It's clean. It's reversible. It looks compelling as it is, if not quirky. I don't know. I'm encouraging someone to get this. I just am. Let's put an affiliate link down in the description. Steve, hey, write it in your notebook, Steve. Notebook Steve. That's your name. Notebook Steve. Remind Ryan to make an affiliate link for this guitar.
You could just tell me how to do it.
Well, you'd have to log into my account.
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
I don't know how to do that.
Right, because I haven't given you my personal password.
Yeah, you used your personal password instead of the show password.
I know. I guess I should probably do that, huh? So that you can make money for me. No, make me do the work. So that I can keep the money. It's a minute of work. I know, and I might make $1. Who knows? Maybe 10. You never know.
All right. Speaking of making money, that's
actually I could probably calculate this right now. I'd make about $20.
Nice.
If someone bought this with my affiliate link. I think so. Yeah. Somewhere around there.
Well, if you have a little bit of money and you don't want to buy this guitar, but maybe you want to help contribute to the show, you can head on over to patreon.com, where for as little as $1 a month or as much money as you want, you can help support all the money in the world, baby. Show.
Hey, if you run a government somewhere and you have control of the funds, sorry for your population. They're going to hate this decision, but I'm just saying you could throw the full back of your government into our Patreon. Like, just throw it all in there.
What if, like,
invest in the podcast?
What if, like, the premiere of Liechtenstein or whatever was actually watched the show?
Sure.
And he was like, actually, we have a tourism budget for Liechtenstein, and we had a sponsor on the show that was like,
fly us out.
That was like, a permanent fixture. It's like Chase Bliss, how they're always sponsoring, but now it's like, hey guys, if you want to go to the guitar capital of Europe, check out Liechtenstein.
Hey Steve, real quick,
hey,
is Liechtenstein like a cool place, bad place, problematic? Is it like?
I think it's cool.
I think it's cool. All right.
It's like a city state.
Liechtenstein, hit us up. Like you got like tourism bucks. We'll advertise Liechtenstein. Fly us out.
It's not like Hungary.
We'll do a podcast out there.
It's not like Romania.
I don't know anything about Liechtenstein, but I'm hungry to learn.
There's a lot of cool people.
It wouldn't be the first time a country sponsored podcasters.
There's a lot of cool people and a lot of not cool.
Is that
countries.
Joke a few weeks too old now?
I don't get. Yeah, what? I don't even get it.
Is that joke about Russia and influencers?
Oh, right. Yeah.
It wouldn't be the first time a country sponsored a podcast. It's right there, Steve.
I get it.
If you run a country and you want to sponsor a podcast, kindly consider 60 Cycle On.
I saw a big time journalist who said,
that's my favorite. That's my favorite 80s band. Big time journalist.
But she's a one of the better known independent journalists and podcaster who her comment was, if somebody was paying me $400,000 a month to make content, I would make content for 1 year and then nobody on the planet would ever hear from me again because I would just ghost. She's like, I would make my money and then I would never do this ever again.
Okay, so I know we're weeks late on this conversation. That is so much money.
Yeah.
Like to rich people, that's like, well, I guess I'll take that sponsorship. But to regular Joes,
yeah, it's basically like $4.8 million.
In my heart and in my mind and in my soul, in the most patriotic corners of my body, I don't know if I would turn down that money. That is like, I'd Temu it, it'd be like, oh, everyone knows, like, hey, by the way, have you guys like sarcastically delivered, like, I don't think these guys are going to care if I get 2 checks out of them, I'm set. So like I would find some compromise in my mind where like, there's enough evil in me that amount of money is tempting. Jeez, it's hard to think about that. And I know that the people who took that money started out evil, but there's money bigger than that going on behind the scenes with all sorts of stuff out there. Why not in the guitar world? Why not?
Ryan,
people keep saying we're shills. For $400,000, yeah, like I'll say that your pedal's the best pedal ever. Every single pedal video that I do, like I don't know,
if
that's crazy.
If we could do,
my heart hurts right now just thinking about this. Do it, Steve. Tell me
okay,
if we could do
say 400,000. We're gonna pay, let's say, about 35% taxes. So
you think people who make that money pay taxes, Steve?
No, let's just say it's all above board. So 400 minus 140. So 260 divided by 2, let's say times 18. Yeah, you need to do it for about 18 months, and then you could retire forever.
I don't even
after
care
18 months.
About retiring. I care about like
after 18,
that's like a medical emergency. You're not going to be bankrupt money. That's
right.
That's still within like 2 weeks of doing that, and it's still like. Okay, we can breathe easy, but you know, because we're covered if there's an emergency, but you don't know if you're going to be able to retire on that, you know?
Right. What I'm saying is like after 18 months, if we split it.
Oh yeah, I have. Oh,
if
great.
we split it.
Now I got a co-host.
Hold on. If we split, yeah.
Hey, Steve. Try a little bit of my drink. I mean, if we get Russia as a sponsor,
yeah. It's about that would be 18 months would be about $2.4 million, which that's retirement. You're retired now. You just retired yourself. Congratulations.
Retirement I want, where I do very little and spend very little money intentionally.
Oh yeah. Especially the retirement you want.
Especially the retirement where this, like, I just go, like, I spend money to get to the beach every other day. Like that's my retirement, and no one will either be bothered by me or hear from me, and I'm not going to get up in anyone's business. I'm just going to.
After that first 2 months, your house is paid for. So after the second 2 months, my house is paid for.
There's a story. I don't remember how we swung into this. We finished about the guitar.
Talking about if the country sponsored us on Patreon.
Did we do our sponsor spots? Is that how we got into
No,
this?
we haven't actually done our sponsors.
Well, we did our Patreon?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll wrap this up. There is a story from within the gear industry world from like the 80s, like from decades ago, 40 years ago.
Okay.
I'm not going to name names, but a company went...
No.
No. We're not going to name any names, even if it's a joke, because we don't want to process elimination. I just don't know if the story's public. If it is public, tell everyone in the comment section. But a company went to an artist and was like, "Hey, we want you to cover our stuff." And the artist is like, "I'm not going to do it for like a typical like artist agreement. I want you to pay my house off." And they didn't hear back from him for a while, and they came back and they said, "We'll do it." They paid off his house. And he's been with them for life. That was the agreement. Like, pay off my house, I'll be with you forever. And they stuck by the agreement. And the debate is whether or not he still uses the products, but they're fully associated with his name forever, and always like included in his gear. I'll tell you the name later. It won't be a surprise.
I mean, I feel like there's only so many.
Sure, but it's like. You can't, there's no one in the guitar demo YouTube world who's getting that deal.
Sure.
Like, that's in a whole other era of advertising in the guitar world. Like, it's crazy.
Well,
but if someone wants to pay off my house, I don't know, lava cables or whatever. I don't know.
Lava cables doesn't even exist anymore.
Just bring them back.
They changed their name. They changed their name to, like, I think Victory.
I don't know why that's I was going for something that random that would be like kind of on a similar level. It's like, well, that's kind of random, but I guess it makes sense.
If you want to help retire Ryan, what you can do is you can head on over to Reverb. They're collaborating with Fender for their Fender certified pre-owned program.
I'm going to be 100 years old doing this.
Click the link down below, buy a guitar. That'll put a little bit of Reverb affiliate
we're talking about that?
into Ryan's back pocket. We'll super appreciate it. I think it's a really cool program. Looking over this guitar, I don't really see what's wrong with it.
We haven't found anything wrong with it yet. Other than the wiggle stick might be too wiggly. Whoa!
Hey Ryan, you like it when I handle your wiggle stick?
I'm going to show you how I like to handle my wiggle stick, Steve. We're still in an official sponsorship, right? But this is the last one of the month.
Reverb wants you to show me how you handle your wiggle stick.
Well, I like to wrap my whole hand around my wiggle stick, Steve.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just move it back and forth like that.
Yeah, I just like to wiggle my wiggle stick.
Okay.
Full fisted.
Great. Sounds good. Yeah, head on over there. I think
Thank you for sponsoring us, Reverb and Fender.
there's been a lot of discussion about this whole program. Honestly, like I haven't heard someone say something negative about it that I've agreed with. I've heard things that are maybe a little speculative, but I haven't heard anything that really to me was convincing.
Sure.
I think it's a really smart collaboration. I think it's something that is really neat, and I think it's something that I'm surprised other guitar companies haven't done already.
I'm interested to see how it develops. I think there's people who are looking at it where they're like not quite sure, like, what is this? What are they trying to do here? Where is the grift?
Sure.
I think it's just going to take them time to figure out the equalization of the relationship in the market. You know, figure out how their stuff should be priced, figure out what they should offer with it as a surface. Maybe at some point they're like, well, we're throwing a shirt, you know, like you never like, maybe there's a special badge or a neck plate that they get or something like that. I don't know. Like maybe there's some swag that people are like, well, you know, I got the thing, so I got the swag, you know, I got the keychain. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how it develops. I like Steve said, I agree. I haven't found anything where I'm like, yeah, that's there's nothing that anyone needs to, this is a great sponsorship. This is a great sponsorship
good
when
job,
you're like,
Ryan.
hey, don't worry about the sponsor. There's nothing to worry about. Thank you, Fender and Reverb, for taking a chance on
I
us.
think it's really smart. I think if you're in the market for something, and again, this guitar back here looks like it's an open box model. It's in really great shape.
The strings are crispy and fresh.
Yeah.
They're all chromy and everything.
But you know what, Ryan? If you
it doesn't have the was used because it doesn't have the plastic.
It doesn't have the plastic on it. Ryan, if you do have a guitar and the strings on it aren't crispy and fresh, what you need to do is head on over to our next sponsor, String Joy.
You know, I don't have any on the desk right now.
Yeah, they're all over there.
Well, no, because I used the
they
one
all
that was
empty?
on the
They're all
desk.
empty. Oh, you used one on the desk.
I used it on a JazzMaster that I filmed last week.
Ryan and
Jaguar.
Ryan and I both play the Orbiters, the 10.5 to 50 set. Ryan plays them because they are recommended to him by
Blake Wyland.
And I play them because Ryan plays them.
And that's what String Joy sends us, because that's what I request.
But I really like them, especially because I have a Les Paul, so it's a little shorter scale. It feels really good. I do have them on my Telecaster. They feel really good. And I have them on a short scale, like a very short scale guitar that I have. I think it's a 22-inch scale.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put them on my Jag Stang, and I'm sure they'll do great on there too. So if you want to check out String Joy Strings, click the link down below. Use code HUM at checkout for 10% off. Ryan, what are you going to say?
One more anecdote
For
the sponsor. It's for the sponsor, guys. You understand. I realized today, I was playing a guitar today. I filmed that Starcaster distortion video today. And I used...
Ooh. Oh, it came.
It's in the bag over there because I hoop jumped it, Steve. You're going to have to ship it.
Oh, no. Okay.
I played the cream voltage in the video, and doing that reminded me why I love the Orbiters, why I love playing coated strings in general.
Did you have coated strings on a guitar?
No, because 2 weeks ago when I filmed, or was it last week? I think it was last week that I filmed the cream.
Yeah.
I've left it out of the case since then, and picking it up and playing today, I'm like, oh, what a difference a week makes.
Oh, yeah.
And I realized every guitar that I have Orbiters on isn't doing that.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's why I love these things. That's why I love these enamel coated baby teeth coated strings. So huge thanks to String Joy. Sorry, we really stretched out the sponsorships this time, but I was having fun. Were you having fun? We try to make the sponsorships fun.
I don't know.
We could do pre-recorded sponsors.
No thanks.
And it would save us a lot of time. And it wouldn't be as much work, but I actually kind of like it. I like the actual personal interaction with the brands. So it's part of what we offer, I guess. Do you guys prefer it over like a manufactured spot? I'm talking to the audience now, not the sponsors. Audience, do you prefer our banter over a perfectly produced, dropped in spot? Let us know.
Have you ever thought about how boring you are?
Oh God.
Sorry,
dude. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I know how boring
I do
I
it
am.
too.
I have to edit this stuff. I'm the one who edits all this.
This ad was sent by Matt Carnevale. It's a Lucky Dog Evangelist Telecaster 2024 custom-made purple burst electric guitar.
Woo! You know what I love about this?
It's purple.
It's a Tele Evangelist.
It's a TeleEvangelist.
It's
All
a
right.
TeleEvangelist.
I bring you my 2024 custom-made Lucky Dog Evangelist. This guy could not spell evangelist the same way twice. This musical work of art is everything a guitarist could dream. Lucky Dog guitars are handcrafted out of Tennessee by Anthony Sims and his small team. This one is a purple Daydream. It features a hand-grained Montana sugar body and a deep purple burst finish deluxe pickguard, a master-grade figured flame maple neck, Lucky Dog custom hardware throughout, and a triple set of handmade custom-wound Lucky Dog pickups in a five-way, or with a five-way that sound incredible, allowing extreme diversity of tonal possibilities. Original owner, never gigged, minimal studio only. She's a mint collector's guitar with no wear, dings, damage, and I'm listing her as excellent. Even though she is a mint case, he keeps saying she, but
we get it. It has a vagina.
All good Christians know that evangelists can only be men. Include killer new case that shipped directly from Lucky Dog and a Lucky Dog COA signed by Anthony himself. This is a really good guitar, a really good looking guitar. The Tele.
What denomination is this guitar,
bridge,
Steve?
This Tele bridge,
considering this is a lady preacher,
is a little confusing to me. It's a lady preacher and it's purple. It's probably Methodist.
It's a Methodist guitar, guys. It's perfect for your Methodist worship band. I look at this guitar, and if this was 2016, Steve,
yeah,
when like praise and worship Facebook groups were at their height, their steamiest, at their most poppin', this guitar would have been all over all of them. People would be like, "Oh yeah, this is inspiring my next, Nash build. Like this is gonna be my next. What was it? TMG. I'm gonna do a TMG build like this. What's the company that sells the pre-relic bodies? MJT. I'm gonna do an MGT based on it. Like this would be a praise and worship guitar fad for about 2 months."
I almost never say this.
Say it, Steve.
I think this would look better as a matte finish.
I was going to comment on that. I have never seen this sort of like the sandblasted grain. I have never seen that with a gloss coat before.
Yeah. I don't think I like it.
I'm on the fence. I think I need to see it in person because every time that sandblasted look is done with the super deep grain. Yeah. It is a matte finish, or they're really playing up the relic. Mm-hmm. They're like, oh, you can see the grain. We soft sanded down to the grain and stuff like that. They do like the Novo thing and stuff like that.
Right.
I don't know. I want to see this in person. It might do fun things in person.
Well, apparently it's sold.
Well, yeah, it's beautiful.
So maybe I've never heard of this brand, Lucky Dog, but apparently somebody has seen enough of it to buy one. So
I think I only have one thing that sticks out to me that I wouldn't do if I ordered this for myself. And this is a weirdly opulent guitar for me to enjoy looking at. But I don't I'll pick out the couple things that I don't like.
Okay, go.
I think it's only two. I don't like that bridge hardware. I don't like the high mass sort of thing. I'm sure it's like a mastery or something like that. I would prefer a more traditional.
I think that bridge is just like a traditional, because mastery is mostly about like.
Well, it's got the mastery styled saddles.
Yeah, but I don't think the bridge is a mastery.
I don't know. Okay, I would prefer a traditional bridge visually, like a traditional ashtray bridge, or like I don't know.
Yeah.
I kind of like those ones where the ashtray is really small on the top and longer on the bottom. I don't care what you do with the saddles. Do fancy saddles if you want.
Sure.
Instead of flame on the fretboard, you don't see this a lot anymore. It was a big trend like 20, 30 years ago. Bird's eye.
Bird's eye. Bird's eye was big, really big 20 years ago.
Yeah, I'd love to see. I think the bird's eye, the dots on the fretboard, and you're still keeping the opulence, but I think the way the dots would play against the lines on the body, I think would be really sharp on this.
Yeah. I think that's the other thing. Again, this looks like gloss finish. Typically, I'm looking at the back of the neck. There's not like a lot of photos of the back of the neck. There's none of the entire back of the neck. Oh no, there's one here.
And they're doing like that fun violin stain on the back of the neck.
They're doing that violin stain, but again, typically when you see this sort of like worn edge thing. It's a satin neck, and this doesn't look like a satin neck,
No.
and that is kind of throwing me off. Like all those like we talked about TMG, MJT necks, all that stuff.
They do like the
they
steel
were all
wool neck.
they were all satinized necks, and this doesn't have that. And it looks it's like somebody took a barn caster and then clear coated it, and it just seems weird.
This
to me.
isn't a barn caster. This is a barn wedding caster. This is like
right.
You took a barn that was already pretty clean and you rent it out on the weekends for weddings because people like to have themed weddings. Like this is a wedding barn caster.
Sure.
That's perfect. Put it in the title. That's a good one. Matt might win this one.
We'll see. But Ryan, before we can decide who won, we need to do a little what's new.
What's new, Steve?
We got a couple of packages. Hand me the one from
we got
do the one from Bob
a couple
first.
packages.
Let's do the one from Bob first. This is the one from Bob.
Steve's going to handle his package first, and
That's my package.
Oh, Steve, I'm sorry. I was holding your package.
I mean, I don't know.
Oh, I see what you mean. This package is for
It's
Steve.
actually for me.
Right.
But I'll let you open.
I'll open up your package.
This first one is from Mr. Robert Pickwode.
Is that how you say his name?
I don't know. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. But he let me know he was going to send something. If you want to send something, send it to the address
On the screen.
on the screen. He says, "All right."
That's an edit I almost never forget. What do we got here, Steve? Here, use this one. It's better.
I love this. This is, I think this might be. Oh wait, no, never mind. It's not. I was going to say I thought this was the same packaging I sent to him, but it's not.
Never cut towards yourself. Cut
Always
towards
cut
your co-host.
Towards your co-host.
Yeah. I'm always sitting on that one. I've always got that line in my back pocket. And one of us is wielding a sharp blade.
Bob, there's so much bubbles. So many bubbles.
Watch, it's still broken.
No.
Hey, editing Ryan, speed this up. Oh, we got CDs.
Bob sent us a stack of CDs.
Why did he send us a bunch of AOL CDs? 100 hours of internet. I don't think you can even use these anymore. No, I'm joking. He's got a bunch of music
are
here.
these are fun too. He was telling me about these. This is a Eddie and the Sand Sharks. They're surf backing tracks.
Interesting.
This is a guy who goes by Guitar Ace who does Link Ray tributes. So there's a whole bunch of different things in here that are all kind of like surf adjacent artists.
That's actually pretty fun, and they're on CDs. I actually, my son has started to get into CDs weirdly.
Really?
Because he's gotten big enough to sit in the front seat in the car.
Oh, okay.
And so now he can man the CD player, and there's like 3 CDs in the car.
Your car has a CD.
I know.
The Scion?
Yeah, it's our only functioning CD. Well, there's one in the van too.
Really?
We only have functioning CD players in the cars, but we don't take anything around with us. So we have.
My wife's van has a CD player.
We have a
too.
CD that someone gave us from the Park Gallery. It's just titled "Dudes," and it's remarkable. Like it's a really good kind of like kind of shoegazy indie, but kind of like kind of charming hipster sort of vibes.
You just described 50% of the artists that play the Park Gallery.
I know, but this one's really good and polished. It's not like the other punks.
The other 50% was thrash metal. So thanks, Bob. Thanks for sending these out.
I wouldn't call it thrash metal. I'd call it Line 6 core.
Gutter punk core. All right, this was sent by Mark Turley from Summer School Electronics. He told me he was going to send something. Do not post demos until on or after September 12th.
Oh, I told him I was going to open it last episode. This is coming out late.
Oh.
Sorry, Mark. We fudged that up because we got excited about the Mustang last episode.
Yeah, this is for me. We've been talking about this for a while.
Yeah.
This is very exciting. This is the Summer School Electronics. Oh, it's in a
Velvet bag.
In a thing. I got a detention slip. I set a guitar on fire during class.
That's fun, Mark. That's a fun detail.
this is the extra credit boost.
Extra credit boost.
So I believe a while ago, Mark, this was after NAMM, Mark sent me the business booster, which is the 3D printed business card holder. I actually do keep it on my desk to hold my remote for my LEDs. But I believe that circuit ended up becoming what's in here. With the switch to the left, it acts as a one knob op amp style boost. With the switch to the right, it's a transistor based boost with an added brightness control. So it's useful before or after drive pedals with an edge of breakup amp, providing great overdriven sound. I think he might have had one of these at NAMM as well, like in a prototype phase. So this is really cool. Thanks, Mark.
Yeah. Summer School is like super fun, super charming builder on the scene. I love the vibes. I love the humor. Good job, Mark. Oh, I'm tossing packaging all around here. All right, so what next, Steve? More sponsors?
What's next is more sponsors.
Yay!
This episode is also, oh man, this is so cool.
It's really cool. And
I like how it has the Stussy logo.
Yellow is just a good pedal for good color for pedals, right?
It's a good color for boost for sure.
Yellow is a great color for pedals. Oh, here's your box. Wherever.
I need that box, Ryan.
Sorry.
What's in the box?
He dropped the box.
This episode is brought to y'all by TrueFire. You can get all these pedals, you can get all these amps, you can get all these guitars, but if you don't actually know how to play the damn thing,
what are you even doing? You're wasting your time.
It's no good.
If you want a hobby where you don't do anything, I don't know, like
buy a boat.
Yeah, there you go.
But if you want to learn some new things for guitar, maybe
collect Funko Pops.
Maybe you thought that pedal was going to scratch that itch, but then you realize you still suck. Head on over to our link to take you over to TrueFire and sign up for some lessons. The best deal that you can get is to sign up for their year-long subscription. It's going to give you the best price overall.
Yep.
That's the one you want to do. But yeah, go check it out.
I mean, do any plan that you want, but that's the best deal.
Yeah.
And
if you want to just pay for 1 month just to check it out for a month,
yeah,
that's super cool too. I guarantee you, you'll find something.
You don't have to do anything.
Guarantee you that you'll find something that you can learn from.
You can choose the smallest option. You can choose the biggest option. Does one of them help us? All of them help us, but one of them helps us more. But that's not important. We want what's best for you. We want you to learn. We want you to enjoy guitar. We want you to have a good time. We want you to buy, and use our affiliate links. So thank you for doing that.
Also,
I've been using TrueFire. I'm having a great time. I'm learning things. I'm trying to be disciplined. I'm trying to get tighter. I'm trying to improve my playing, and TrueFire is helping.
After you do some, after you spend some time over on those TrueFire lessons, and you decide that you're feeling confident. Maybe you're feeling a little too confident, and you want to knock yourself down a peg.
Here we go.
Head on over to chasebliss.com. They make pedals more creative than you are.
That's true. Probably more talented too.
Yeah. So go buy one of their pedals.
You know why?
And restart that learning curve.
Every Chase Bliss pedal spends 10,000 hours on TrueFire. 2 sponsors at once, baby. We're doing it.
Here's what I'll say. Like, we always talk about Chase Bliss pedals, and they're complex and they're so creative and all this stuff, but they also are kind of very usable out of the box.
Extremely. Every single one is also a standard normal pedal.
Yeah.
Like the Therme is one of the wildest delays out there, but it's also just a really rock solid, simple analog delay if you want to treat it that way.
Exactly. So just head on over to Chase Bliss, see what they've got. And if you see something that you like, you can buy it. And in the comments, you can say that Ryan and I sent you.
Yeah.
Thumbs up. Make the thumbs up emoji.
We're leaning into it this week.
Are we?
We're leaning into, we're trying to show the countries out there, the countries of the world, that we're open for business.
Ryan,
what was the one you talked about? Liechtenstein.
Liechtenstein. That's not even a country.
I know. I combined it with Istanbul. Not Constantinople. I messed that up so hard. Constantinople.
Ryan, let's hit this topic.
Hi, John.
Let's hit this topic.
Maybe he still listens.
Let's please hit this topic.
Okay, let's hit the topic. I've got a screen grab of it. It's about the future. I remember that, which is our current destination. Bryce D. Namur asks, guitars of the future. Can you think of any development in the guitar world that you're actually looking forward to? Are we going to talk about things like inventions that have come out recently that were like, oh yeah, like remember when DVDs got announced and we're like, oh, I can't wait for DVDs to come out. That technology is coming down. Is there any like technology that has been hinted at or that has been we've seen in prototype or in rumors and rumors of rumors that you're excited to see come into fruition? Or do we just want to spitball the wildest things that could happen or like actual predictable trends?
So I'll start with this guitar of the future.
Okay.
If you want to see one potential guitar of the future concept, head on over. I'm going to make a link. I'm making a note.
He's doing a link.
To make a leak. To take a leak.
Take a link.
To take a link. Go check out Montander Guitars.
That's what I should.
I
should just say that in every description. Take a link.
Go check out Montander Guitars. They have a guitar called that's not I don't think it's a production. It's just a concept.
Okay.
Called the Weirdo. It is a guitar with an Arduino computer circuit, whatever, built into it that allows the guitar to do like super crazy things. And it's like basically this programmable mini computer built into the guitar. The latest version of it, I just saw Justin talking about it, has I think the Arduino, I can't even say that word, Arduino computer circuit, whatever, takes the signal from each pickup, and if you set it, this one is set to be a tremolo circuit, like a tremolo effect. And it can do like each pickup at a different tremolo rate.
Ooh.
And I think it like does it, I don't know if it does it based on like envelope or what, like how it's triggered, but it's built into the thing. And he's got all of these, he's done some different ones. I think tremolo is the one that you kind of see the most on his socials, but it's this constantly evolving thing. And I wonder, like, I've never seen anything like that before. And I wonder how long it's going to be until, I don't know what brand would do it. Like, I can't think of like a bigger guitar brand that would be like, hey, Justin, like we want to do that. We want to, like, I don't know, because it's it's a thing that you can buy off of like Amazon or whatever. I don't know if he has a patent on that if a company would have to have his permission for it, or if like Dean could just come out and be like, yeah, it's in all of our guitars now. We're putting this crazy effects thing in it. This programmable,
or if it was just like an easy drop in that people could do.
I have no idea,
yeah.
But I think it's like such a really cool, fun way to approach effects that are built into guitar. And it's not like the cheesy, like, 70s things, you know. Sure. I don't want to say it's simple. Like it's a thing that requires programming skills.
Right.
But it's a thing that like maybe somebody could be a programmer and you just put that in a guitar. Does it stand alone on its own forever? I have no idea how it works, but I think it's really cool. And I think that's something that, you know, could be one potential future of guitar. And I would love to see more implementations of that.
So I have a lot of predictions for where guitar is going to go. And my biggest farthest scoping prediction for guitars of the future is that
guitars will be banned by the year 2035.
Yeah, the year's 2035. All guitars have been banned. My furthest out prediction for guitar is in like 500 years, when guitar is just another one of the classical instruments, a stringed instrument from the 20th century and before. This shape is going to be completely standardized, like a violin, like most violins. Acoustic violins they're just standardized shape. And I think electric guitars are going to have a standardized shape. It's going to be a super strat. Like not a crazy pointy thing, but it's going to be like you make a strat and it's high performance for the future. Sure. Maybe it has futuristic qualities or stuff like that. But I think that's just going to be what everyone sees it like. That's an electric guitar. Maybe there will be other stuff depending on the structure size of society. But if everything gets taken down to the raw form just for ergonomics, it's just going to be strats. That's going to be like violins. That's just going to be the shape. In 500 years, where the culture of various guitars, they'll look back at flying V's the way we look at like weird lutes that have 4 necks and a harp on the backside. We're going to be like, why did they do so much? You know, it had the instrument hadn't been perfected to its final form yet. Looking out a little bit sooner, like technologies on guitar, I think we're going to see people returning to explore the promise and the applications, the future and current applications of segmented pickups.
Okay.
You know how like the Roland pickups were, where it picks up every string individually.
Sure.
I'm imagining a guitar that appears to either have no pickup at all, or it has just a solid block of some sort of piece underneath the strings. And the whole thing is an array of dozens, if not hundreds of individual pickups.
Hundreds of individual pickups.
And you could program each string to engage various pickups, which are all some high technology thing that doesn't have 60 cycle hum anymore. They finally gotten rid of us. But you can custom engage different points across the array, or you could program it to be like, follow this specific point of the node of the vibration of the string, and the guitar will intelligently follow it. So you always have perfect balance and perfect phase wherever you want to be across all the strings. You can custom dial in the exact sound that you want from a neck position.
Yeah.
Like the customizable like nature of it. And there will be a digital element to it to program all this, but it'll be an array of like mini magnets that are all sensors and are sensing the strings, or maybe they're optical, or they're like, they pick up the subatomic vibrations of dark matter. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work, but that is a technology that I think would go far.
Did you see from coming out of Fretboard Summit, or maybe you've just seen it on Instagram in general? Are you familiar with the account Disco Bebe?
Maybe if I saw it, I don't recognize the name.
The guy's name I think is Duncan. He makes these guitars, and he's only made like, I think I heard like 5 of them. But they have individual string pickups.
Right.
But I think the way it was described to me is that each one of those pickups is also basically a sustainer.
Okay.
So you can like have your guitar where like you're droning like certain strings, and the other ones are just regular guitar strings.
So basically you got 6 EBOs instead of 1 sustainer.
Exactly.
That's wild.
Exactly.
That's wild.
And I think the one that he took to Fretboard Summit was fretless.
Of course it was.
So
of course. Well,
so,
why would you do anything else?
And so the thing that was, they were this, I got this from Philip's conversation with Rhett Scholl. I'll put a link to that too.
Links,
drop a link.
Take a link.
Take a link. And I'll try to post a link to that one. But I believe they were talking about how basically what he was doing was like what you can do with those guitars is like a more extreme or a more versatile version of those Moog guitars. Remember those Moog guitars?
Yeah.
From like a few years ago, like 10 years ago now, maybe more.
Mm-hmm.
And they were talking about how those Moog guitars are now just all museum pieces because there are no replacement parts.
Right.
So if anything, so nobody wants to play them because they're so weird that they're basically unrepairable.
Yeah.
Which sucks. But it's like in that concept of like just crazy pickups to let you make like these wild ambient otherworldly sounds.
Another prediction that I have is that there will always be a strong contingent of the guitar market that just wants the analog basics.
Oh, 100%.
And it's going to get expensive. It's going to be like, it'll be normal for tube amps to be $100,000. And not just because minimum wage is $79. But it'll become like the way that we look at classical instruments now. It'll be like, oh yes, the rock and roll orchestra that plays classical music yeah, that guitarist,
Yes.
like that he had to have someone hand blow tubes.
They play
You know, like-
they play all of the classical songs.
There's not a single
the Wall,
right.
Money.
TNT.
Yeah. Rambling Man.
Can you imagine a high society audience like golf clapping because someone plays like a
Bang a Gong.
yeah. Oh
Staying
God.
Alive.
I'm thinking of like a dozen songs at one time. Oh my gosh. Oh,
You get to the end of Bohemian Rhapsody, and instead of you think now if you were to see Queen with whoever, I don't know who their current lead singer is, but if you were to see Queen at the end, like the entire crowd's just going batshit motherfucking crazy off the wall at the end of Bohemian Rhapsody. But now you're seeing it with the classics with the New York Philharmonic.
I'm imagining
and it's at the end, it's the exact same production, big whatever, that you would expect from Queen for Bohemian Rhapsody. It's all done the same. It's all big. It's all huge. It's all the movements, all perfect. And then at the end, a bunch of motherfuckers in tuxedos are just like,
right. No, I'm imagining like a professional orchestra, tuxedos, futuristic tuxedos and all,
spinning bow ties.
Yeah, like the whole shebang, people in tuxedos and fancy dresses and stuff like that, and playing a perfect rendition down to vocal fry and everything of Keep 'Em Separated by The Offspring. And like, oh yes, a masterwork of the late 20th century.
Yes.
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 I know so much trivia
yes.
about this song.
You do need to keep them separated.
Mm-hmm. Yet wiser words have never been spoken than might as well be walking on the sun.
Yes.
Yes.
In the late 20th century, you could not just buy the world a toke because in much of the world, marijuana, our daily breakfast, was illegal.
Yes, our daily breakfast and the organic compound that led to development of the supermind that controls all and cares for us as a galactic civilization. All hail supermind. You have helped society reach the highest of highs.
Supermind's great wisdom is just the chorus of All Star on repeat. Like you think about it, like that's actually the equivalent.
Supermind is the only mind in the universe that still remembers Zebra Head.
What's Zebra
A
Head?
band from like they had a song on the Dude, Where's My Car soundtrack.
Apparently, I don't remember Zebra Head. No, it's you ever think about how the chorus of All Star is effectively the slogan of Bill and Ted, be kind to each other and party on, dudes.
Yeah.
Hey, now you're an all-star, get your game on, go play.
Yeah. There we go.
For the audio folks at home, we just did the big guitar windmill from
Bill and Ted. From future Bill and Ted's when they are the saviors of all reality, really.
Yeah. George Carlin, R.I.P. R.I.P.
Guys, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I cried at the ending of the third Bill and Ted movie. I cried.
Oh.
Like my eyes watered up and I was like, I'm fine. And I did it twice. I watched it 2 times, and the second time I was like, I'm not going to cry again. I know it's coming. And then I cried again. Like my eyes. My wife was like, isn't this the part of the movie you said you started crying to? And I was like, yep.
Jeez.
That's me, I guess.
All right, man. You got any other future guitar designs that you think the world needs, that you're waiting? You just keep waiting on the guitar world to change to these future
I think there's
designs.
going to be a certain element of the mechanical nature of a guitar that's always going to remain. I think people are always going to want strings to physically interact with. I think people are always going to want physical vibratos and other physical things for manipulating the strings. and the pitch of the guitar.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of room for other technologies to come in and not maybe become dominant, but become common enough and useful enough. And to get beyond modeling. I think modeling is a very limited use of digital for guitar. I think a future generation, a coming generation is going to be so native to digital, so native to technology encoding and working with technologies like that, that they're not going to be modeling analog sounds. They're going to be in the code molding and shifting and creating sounds.
Right.
It's not going to be like, what amp does this model? They're going to be like, oh, I want this section of the signal to compress and this section of the signal to drive, and I want the EQ to shift this way with dynamics, and there's going to be a level of tone smithing that we've never experienced before. With that, you know, and including interfacing with this infinite pickup idea that I have. So that's my prediction of the
Just
future.
nanomagnets.
They're nanomagnets. They somehow have full sensitivity, but then it's like an EMG where it's like really small output. So then it has to go through a preamp and things like that.
Full sentience.
Yeah, you could connect AI and you could be like, always balance the string to be within this EQ range across the pickup. So it'll just morph and change with your playing dynamics in the blink of an eye.
Right. So I do think that's a good point, though. You're talking about the physicality of it. I think there are a lot of things in the world where like the physical interaction is really key. And despite the fact, like implementation issues aside, right? Say they had like perfect implementation of this product. In a lot of ways, like the Aero Band guitar seems like it should be like a potential permutation of future guitar. But ultimately, like that sort of thing where it's like, oh no, we're just going to have sensors all across the fretboard instead of strings. Like I think will fail, even if it's like a perfect reproduction, if it gives you like a general tactile sense, if the audio is perfect,
Right.
If like all of that, you know, what do they call it? Tracking.
Right.
Is perfect. There's still going to be a part of it where like you lack the physical wonder of it. It's the same reason that like
what it is anytime you take away the physical interaction of the instrument, it just becomes a computer.
Yeah.
And a computer can be an instrument. Absolutely. I'm not making that case, but the skill of the instrument is your interaction with it. Even with the computer, your interaction is with the interfaces and stuff like that. But that's its skill. I don't have that skill to make music on a computer the way so many people can. I have the skill to manipulate a string. The moment you take away the string, now you're manipulating buttons or sensors or something, and you no longer have that physical reaction with a vibrating object.
I'm trying to think of like what the modern equivalent to that type of thing is. And I want to say
probably the most boomer argument I've ever made from the perspective of a future kids.
I want to say it's like cars, but I don't even know if cars are there. But like, for example, like if you're no car person, I'm just going to make make I'm going to say no car person is excited about electric guitars or electric cars. Sorry. No car person is excited about electric cars from a car person perspective. Maybe they're excited for it because
there are car people who are excited about electric cars, but there's aspect of electric cars that car people are not excited about.
Right. The thing that they're excited about isn't the car part. Like, I think what I'm saying is like, I think there is always going to be an electric guitar person who is the equivalent to the guy who's like Ariel and his Porsches and his BMWs or, you know, the guy who's got a 1967 Mustang and he can hear when something's wrong with the engine.
Sure.
And nobody else can hear it, but he can hear it or she can hear it. Like the person can hear it. And I think that type of person, I don't know what the equivalent to that is now. Like what's a thing that's like from 100 years ago where the generation that invented it, like it doesn't, is it records?
No, it's audiophile stuff.
Is it like
it's tubes?
Is it this record comeback thing where
It's
people
tubes,
want
it's vinyls.
vinyl because they want to see the physical thing spin?
It's people fidgeting with transformers and speakers and all that stuff, you know.
But I'm also thinking like en masse, like vinyl is really big right now.
But they like, I don't know. This is a sloppy metaphor.
It is.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a thing yet that is there. But
well, you can either.
I don't think there's a metaphorical thing.
We need to ever look at any of these hypothetical technologies we're talking about as the end-all replacement to all guitars.
Sure.
But all you need is for it to be like as common as a Floyd Rose, and it will have become a major success.
Right.
You know, if an infinite pickup gets as popular as a Floyd Rose, that's huge. That's a huge thing in the industry.
I mean, what if we count? I guess I'm thinking about it as a perspective of like, what if we got to a point where like, I don't know why they're not a thing anymore. In fact, they're kind of a joke. Like, why don't more bands have keytars?
I don't know.
Like that seemed like a wearable synthesizer. Like that's interesting-ish, isn't it?
I think it's probably just like a lot of keyboardists that play on stages and stuff. They have a bunch of stuff in their rig.
Right.
And so I think their mentality is like, well, I've got 2 keyboards I'm bringing and a side thing and a laptop. So it's like, I'm not really leaving my cage here anyways.
Sure.
So there's really no reason for me to wear this when I could just have a thing up here. You know, I think that's the mentality where like, you got to be out on the stage playing only one keyboard. And I don't think that's the modern direction of a lot of key players. I think a lot of key players like to have multiple objects.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. Yeah. So again, I don't know that there's an analogy. Tell us what kind of thing maybe you've seen a prototype of. Maybe it's just like a fun idea bouncing around in your head. Let us know what it is. And let us, you and I, Ryan, hit this last ad that was sent by.
Forget everything we said. The future of guitar is robotic tuners.
Yeah. This was sent by Mike Krause. It's a custom-made painted upright bass, played well.
Oh yeah.
Mutant not included. It's a custom acoustic electric upright bass. That is a mutant.
That's an alien
for scale.
I don't know why he calls it a mutant. Do you know what movie that's from?
I should, but I can't.
It's a classic sci-fi movie. Like 1950s.
Yeah. No, it's
This Island Earth.
It's island. Okay. I guess I haven't seen that one.
It's a classic. A spaceship abducts a Cessna, an airplane out of the sky. Yeah. It's like, oh, we're being sucked up into the craft. Like that sort of movie. But I only picked this for the alien.
How big is this?
I haven't spent more than a second looking at the bass.
It's got like some kind of
it looks kind of cool
Paisley thing going on. It's an electric, like they said, acoustic electric bass. So it's got like this. It doesn't have the big shoulders.
Yeah. You know, like I'm so glad that they took the photos the way that they did, because no one would be able to figure out the scale of this thing without the alien.
I still can't figure out what the scale of this thing is.
It really lets you know like exactly how
is.
big it. Actually, that alien statue sculpture, it looks like it must be a good 8 or 9 feet tall. Yeah. Like even looking at the chair next to it, look at the wet trivac.
That alien could not sit in that chair.
I think that stand-up bass is full size.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll just say this: at $475, I actually think this.
It's cool.
This is maybe a buy.
I think so too. It's an untraditional shape, but come on, you're in a rockabilly band. You're gonna look at that like, oh, I'm gonna get that pinstriped. That's gonna take pinstripes great.
Yeah.
I could stand right on that thing, and it's thinner, isn't it? It's not a full body, so it's easy to throw that.
Yeah,
in the
maybe.
back.
Yeah.
It's easier to throw that in the back of the tour van.
Sure.
Versus the full thick boy you've got at home. What is going on with these people's living space? I don't think this is a living space. I think this is like a studio space or something. It looks like
this looks like a church office.
It looks like a back room or an office.
There's
definitely a lot of gear
there. Dude,
there.
look at all these soda bottles on the ground.
I know.
This is like the church break room. These are all the soda bottles from youth group.
You might be right. Why do they have the alien? And why is it missing an eyeball? It needs that eye.
The missing eyeball is very disturbing.
It needs that eye for stereoscopic vision.
What's Blitz Kid?
Let's look
up Blitz Kid. Blitz.
No, but I'm going to say like
Kid
475 if you're stand-up bass curious. Like, this thing's already painted all over. You can go nuts with this and do whatever you want.
Blitz Kid is an American horror punk band from Bluefield, West Virginia.
I don't think this is a church anymore, Steve. It still might be, actually.
Yeah, I don't know.
What kind of kids are starting horror punk bands? Like kids who grew up in youth group. Let's be honest. Youth group kids start horror punk bands. Am I wrong?
I'm looking through their pictures to see if like this happened to be I found a picture of a guy playing bass and it's not this bass.
I'm looking at the reflection in the alien's eye and I'm enhancing.
Uh-huh.
This was taken in a hospital. I see the killer. I've solved the crime.
Oh my God.
They injected the victim with porcupine venom. I can see the syringe labeled porcupine venom in the reflection in the eye. How much for the alien?
Maybe it's for sale too.
I want the alien. If I buy the base, can it come with the alien?
Maybe.
All right. Tell us about the song, Steve.
We gotta
pick a winner.
ABC,
We gotta pick a winner. Yeah.
Let's see. We had the Master.
Yeah.
We had the Evangelist.
I'm going
Tele,
Master, man.
and we had the Alien.
Master showed me something I'd never seen before.
I think what was the Master? Was that that one didn't have the extra string? Was that last episode?
Pick a viewer to win against me. I've got Nick Carter with the Master. Go.
I think I want to do. I think bass.
You're picking the bass.
World's Gotta Unite. I'm going to pick the bass.
Mike Krause.
Alien
okay.
for Scale.
Nick Carter versus Mike Krause. Here we go. I'm going to get the little pick here. Really clicking. Steve gets it.
I got it.
Oh my gosh. What an upset. I can't believe it.
Suck it, Ryan.
Suck it, Nick Carter, you mean?
No,
I've lost nothing.
This music was sent by Joey Skar. He says, this music is from my old band Silent Dööm from when I lived in St. Louis. I wrote and performed the vocals for Got Me Good and Misfortune and Fame in 2011. We played a lot of really good shows as a four-piece with Brett Love on bass, Andrew Brewer on drums, Tom Mays on guitar, and me as the frontman. We tried to bring in another guitarist to make the band sound more full, but after one show, it pushed Tom out of the band. We tried to play with the new guitarist as a four-piece, but it didn't really work out because me and the new guitarist began to clash, so we went on hiatus. The drummer, bass, and I started working as a three-piece, recording one song in 2013 called Scream, but I realized I wasn't talented enough at the time to play guitar and sing what I wrote at the same time live, so I gave up on my dream of having a kick-ass band and moved back home to Florida. Looking back, I wish I didn't give up on it, but it is what it is. Currently working on new music and hope to release it soon. Enjoy the tunes. Let me know what you think. Cheers from Miami, Joey Skar. He sent a bunch of pictures. You can post some of these pictures, but this song is called Misfortune and Fame.
Fun song.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Man, like,
And if you go through the photos like will look exactly like what you think they're going to look like.
that's what I want to see. I'm going to look at them. I'll put them up. All right.
Cool. Thanks, Joey.
Send more songs, guys. That was amazing.
Yep.
Bye, everybody.
Stay grounded.